hours a week, nothing less. All right. So how many hours? At least 5 hours, an hour a day in your own business. I'm trying to give you the weekends off, but I could say 7 hours, right? The next question is, would your business require an outside location, such as a store or an office or some space? Okay. And then the other question you need to ask yourself, when and where will customers and clients be expected to meet me? Because if you have a home-based business, you can't be having no kind of traffic in your community because they will rat on you. Okay. So you have to monitor that. Okay. And so for some businesses, you are not zoned for that type of business. Okay. And you just got to be careful with that unless you got some good neighbors. But then, you know, for some of us, the online businesses that we have and like Zoom calls and virtual calls and meetings and things like that, that's doable. But that's what things, some questions you got to ask yourself. Do I need to have a physical space so I can meet my clients? And for some individuals, you can really have a business where you meet your clients at the coffee shop. Not that y'all going to be there all day, but that may be your spot. And the people, the owners of managers at the coffee shop know you, they know what you do, and you have relationship. You're not just going there, sitting in people's chairs, not ordering any coffee, not ordering any cakes or pies or muffins. But if you're giving them, you know, business, you're going to be straight. But these are the questions that you have to ask yourself. Okay. So 4 things to consider before you leap. Okay. And we're almost done. Like I stated, I know this might be a bit much, especially in this lesson 1, but what I do want you to do is I want you to pause where you need to so that you could review a few things and capture some notes. And really, when I ask you a question, you might need to pause so that you can make note of your thoughts and ideas. Okay. So 4 things to consider before you leap. Before you take the leap to full-time entrepreneurship, ask yourself these questions. It's actually 4 areas that I'm going to be focusing on. I believe it's 4 areas I'm going to be focusing on. And I have several questions. I'm not going to go through all of them. So I want you to take your own time and go through these modules and pause it and take note as you go. Okay. So here's an area. Am I emotionally and mentally ready? That's a major question. I was sharing with some individuals in a meeting and in a coaching session, how it is that, you know, and they were actually trying to make a decision whether or not they should when to make the leap into full-time entrepreneurship. But like I told them, you got to make sure that you have a good support system, that you have an exit strategy, and that you know your seasons. I said 3 things that's very major. It's not in this here, but I said it. You have to make sure that before you leap, before you telling people I'm out, peace out, you need to ask yourself the question, do I have a good support system? Is my husband or wife in alignment with this leap? My children, are they going to be okay when I take this leap financially, right? So you want to make sure that you have a support system, you know, friends and some family. You might not have everybody on board, but at least you have some friends that's helping you, advising you, a coach or someone. A good support system is necessary. A great exit strategy. We need to sit down and talk about a strategy, and that strategy involves a timeline. And then also seasons. You got to know the right season to make the shift. So these are some of the questions, excuse me. These are some of the questions that you need to ask yourself. Are your personal relationships suffering as a result of your business? Because if it is, you got to really think about that. Do you have a strong support system? Like I said, friends and family. Do you feel excited? Yes, please get excited about it. Okay. Y'all, I do have to sip my water. Y'all knew I talk a whole bunch. But yeah, it's so important that you know your support system. And do you feel excited and energized about quitting, about leaving? And for most people, they're very excited. But some people, they're being forced out. So they might not be as excited, but they realize they have no other alternative but to start their own business, right? In the event they don't want to go back into the job market. So you have to be real with yourself. Am I emotionally and mentally ready? The second thing is, am I financially ready? No, we talk about seasons. Have I put enough money on the side so that I could still get what? Live, all right? So that's the question. Have you put enough money on the side from your own paycheck to support yourself? until you can draw from your business a full-time salary? So go through these questions. Do not leap. Go through these questions. Do not leap until you have really been able to answer them truthfully. All right. So see those two particular statements? Am I emotionally and mentally ready? Am I financially ready? Well, look at this. Is my business ready? Yeah. Is my business ready? Have you developed a new product, produced it, successfully found a market for it? So you want to leap, but you haven't really thought through your product, or even the services you're going to provide. Don't you leap? Don't you launch? So go through these questions. Have you obtained outside financing to take your startup to the next level? We're talking about your business. Is it ready? Do you have more business than you can handle? Meaning, do you even have a customer? Do you even have a client? And if you do, we're going to talk about that a little bit further, that you got to build that. Okay, we're talking about before you talk about leaping. Okay, so look at down here at the bottom. I want you to read through all of this. But if you say yes to all of these, you're probably in a very good position to leave your job, but only if you say yes. All right. The other area is, are you operations ready? Okay. Notice my tone has kind of went down on this because I'm so serious. Do not launch. Do not leap if you're not ready. And I'm not going to say you're not going to feel a little nervous and all that stuff or ever. That's why I say your prayer life is going to be extremely important, your relationship with God, to understand what season you're in and if it's time. And sometimes when it is that season, you're not going to always have a peace. You know, you'll have a peace, but it's not going to exteriorly, it's not going to always be the prime time, you know, everything perfect. That's not going to happen. It's not going to, you know, that's not realistic. But I just want to make sure that you've done your due diligence before you leap out there. Okay. Are my operations ready? Okay. Systems and processes you can use to scale your business. And we're going to talk about that more. And so for many of us, I know we probably don't even have a business idea. We have a business idea, but we don't have the systems and the structure and the strategies and all these things in place. And that's what we're going to go over. But this module 1 is really for preparation. I'm trying to prep you mentally and emotionally for some of the things that are going to, you know, we have to work through in the other modules. That's why this particular one was so long. But I don't want you to rush through it. I want you to answer these questions and really think about some of the statements that are being shared. Look, one more that's really important. Professional advisors, such as an accountant, an attorney, a mentor, a coach. Do you have that? Okay. I can coach you on one aspect, but I can't coach you in numbers and counting. All right. Taxes and, you know, your tax benefits and all those policies and all that. No, I can't. So you need to build relationship with these professional advisors, okay? And then knowing where you're going to get your supplies, who's your suppliers and your vendors. So you see how important, you guys, that this is so important that before you leave, that you take all of these things into consideration. So Coach J wants you to go after your dream. That's why I'm here. That's why you invested in me, and I'm investing in you. And when I make my investment, I want a return off of it. I want to be able to hear you say, girl, my business is booming, right? I got my systems in place. You know, I got my administrator there. I have my financial, I have my marketing. I have all these things working, girl. It's challenging, but it's working. That's what I want to hear. So go after it. Go after your dream, okay? For we walk by faith, not by sight. I'm echoing. Write the vision, which you've done. I hope you've done that already. Or we're going to talk about writing, business plan, that kind of thing. Write the vision, make it plain on tablets, that he may read it, who reads it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, season. But at the end, it will speak and not lie. When people ask me about my journey, man, it has been a wonderful journey, challenging, but rewarding. And all I could say is consistency was the key to my promotions, to my increase, to my favor, to what I see and what I'm reaping. the fruit of my labor. And I've yet to really fully experience all that God has for me, but I do know it works. And so I want you to know, write the vision, make it plain. So when people read it, they could run with it, they understand it. And that's what I want to help you do. It's going to speak and it's not going to lie. A man's gift makes room for him and bring him before great men. Y'all, I'm always going to have the word involved. Why? Because the word works if we work the word. And God is a God of principles. And those principles don't just apply to our walk in church. Those principles apply both in ministry and in the marketplace, in your business. Your business is a kingdom entrepreneurship. It's business. It's a kingdom business. And you have to allow God to be a co-partner with you. Okay, so remember that a man's gift makes room for him and it brings him before great men. So, of course, like I stated, you guys, that, I don't want you to rush through this. We're going to pause a moment. This just concludes lesson number 2. And then we'll go on to lesson number 3. But before you go on to lesson number 3, I want you to go back and digest all of this. Okay. Process what you heard, process what you've read before moving on. I want you to complete your handouts. We've already walked and talked through the fears. It's still very important. Review before you leap. I want you to share your thoughts and your ideas and the things that are challenging you as well, so that we can talk and walk through those things, okay? We have 8 weeks together, 8 weeks together. And so I want you to really, like I said, I want this to be your transformative time of learning and coaching, okay? And so I want you to just do the work. Can you promise me that you're going to do the work? Can you promise me that you're going to do the work? Okay. Well, if you do your work, trust me, I'm going to do my work, okay? So I'll see you in the next lesson. Bye.